Ulster and the Bulls, folks. URC, another South African-Irish clash. I'm quite enjoying these South African-Irish clashes in particular. You Irish and South African fans are particularly vocal. You're very supportive of your teams. I mean, the crowd there at the Kingspan was kind of indicative of that. It's great to see. I love it. I love it. In this game, especially the first half, some pretty bloody silky skills. And that Ulster Maul, Ulster Maul took the game away in the second. But anyway, we'll go through some key events and stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts. I just watched it this morning. Someone asked me yesterday, how did I watch the games? RTE was the one I watched. This one, I'm not in Ireland, but, VPN, RTE, happy days. Ulster, 32 points to 23. Comeback win, because they were down. They were down by 8 points in that first half, and the Bulls, for them, a couple of kind of soft penalties, couple of cards, and just inability to really push on in the second half cost them. But I mean, the start of the game was an absolute cracker one. Like I mentioned, the crowd was great. You could hear them singing the whole game. There can't have been many empty seats there. I don't know how many the Kingspan seats, but most of the seats seem to have bums on them, which is always good to see. And yeah, man, cracking start. Ulster line out left side of the field, a few carries up the midfield, and then shift it right. How good is it to see Rob Bellacoon just gassing into space? Phew, that guy's got some wheels. And I haven't seen him play for ages. So, yeah, that was really, really fantastic to see. Missed conversion, and I should say Lowry with the final pass to get the assist. But 5 points to nil to the Ulster boys. Good way to start. Chris Smith missed his first shot at goal, but then got a second one to get the Bulls on the board. So 5 points to 3. A little bit of tit for tat. And then Kurtley Aronson, speaking of guys who I haven't seen play for a while, him and Kane and Moody. They combined for a while. I thought that try, the Aronson one, had kind of been coming. You could feel the Bulls were knocking on the door for a wee while. And it ends up coming from a Kane and Moody wee dink over the top and a sweet bounce. Like, you can't predict that kind of bounce, but boy, does he get the bounce. When you get the bounce, you get the rewards. So, a bit of gas from him. Regathers his own kick, finishes it via Kurtley Aronson. He's got some wheels as well. So, 10 points to 5. The Bulls are in front. But then the first half really just kept shifting, both ways. It was, like I said, one of the best first halves anyway. I think you'll see if you're looking for a game which kind of goes back and forth and stays kind of even. Like if you're an Ulster fan, you probably appreciated the second half more than the first in terms of the way your team was able to build points. But like Bulls can see the soft penalty, cleaning up Stockdale kind of off the ball, gives Ulster a chance to apply a bit of pressure. Ulster more as they do, and yellow card warning for the Bulls for infringements. They don't get carded, but Stewart goes over for the first of his 3 tries on the back of that ball. So, kind of a soft one to concede, I guess, if you're the Bulls. And great conversion from Doak, so 12 points to 10. The lead changes again. I just love games where lead changes. I've been lucky this week where I've seen a few games where the lead changes a lot, like Rebels and Reds last night in Super Rugby was very much the same. 32 minutes, the Bulls hit back. A bunch of phases from close range, and Berger's able to go over, so 17 points to 12. Then the momentum shifts back Ulster's way when Stockdale kicks a peach of a 50-22. Great stuff, but it's the Bulls who kick a penalty before halftime to make it 20 points to 12 at halftime. That's a solid lead, man. 2-score lead. You're away from home. Not bad. Not bad, Bulls. They've had more possession, more territory, more run meters, 271 to 128, and 124 of those 271 run meters for the Bulls are Kurtley Aronson. Although he gets a bit of an injury, he seems to be limping half the second half, so his effects in the second half were really limited. Clean breaks is 3-1 to the Bulls, so it's been a good first half, man. The Aronson try and Bellacoon tries, particularly if you want some real silky skills from the backs and some guys in some space. Really, really beautiful. I mean, not to say that the Berger and Stewart tries aren't nice as well. They're equally as important, but, just a little bit different. Second half starts, and that yellow card warning from the first half seems to continue on because the Bulls, when they infringe, end up getting a yellow card through low. There's no warning this time. It's pretty much just straight. I warned you in the first half, so, yellow card for Elric Lowe. And Ulster maul it again. They go over. Even Nathan Doak's getting there pushing. So they had a lot of bodies in there. But it's a good start to the second half for Ulster. They're only 1 point behind now. And then the Bulls, it's not like they didn't have their chances, Like 50-odd minutes. They go through a heap of phases. The forwards are just going closer and closer and closer. And as soon as they give it to the backs, they, I think it was Hendricks, they conceded a penalty at the breakdown. First pass to the backs. Maybe that's why the forwards sometimes just like to keep it tight. So penalty conceded for holding on, missed opportunity. But then you flip it down the other way. Ulster have got a chance, similar thing, just close range phases, and they are able to finish it off. Stewart, with the kind of presence of mind to place the ball just next to his hip, knowing that the goal line was there, when there's a bunch of bodies around him, was pretty impressive. So the TMO to check it, but he confirms it, and it's 26-20. Ulster are in front. They won't relinquish that lead. So the lead changes are done, but I mean, a Smith penalty on 62 minutes at least made it 26-23, so that's game on. But then the scoreboard just kind of gets away from the Bulls from here on out. Ulster attacking, did kind of blow out a chance in Bulls territory. They had a nice line out, given how effective their line out had been. Kind of a chance to maybe put the game to bed, but they mucked up the line out, so it was a bit of a let off, and then the Bulls went down the other end. They put a kick through, Balakoon spilled it, and the Bulls looked to have a chance to kind of hit the Ulster guys on the break, but then they knocked it on. So both sides had chances to really get back into it, but then, I mean, the Bulls run for mark, a high tackle, soft penalty again, Ulster up for the 3, so it was 29-23, then Bismarck gets a yellow card for a hit on Billy Burns. The hit looked bad because Billy Burns' head kind of whiplashes, but I mean, the main problem with it was he didn't wrap, so it was a shoulder charge, so if he just stuck an arm out, I think he would have been fine, despite the fact the damage he would have done would have been pretty much the same. But yeah, with that yellow card, you think the Bulls are maybe done. The commentators were certainly starting to talk that way, but I mean, the Bulls still went through, with 14 men, a heap of phases, but then Papiera had a carry, and the Ulster guys just competed at the breakdown and managed to win themselves a penalty, and then Cooney is able to slot one at the death to take it beyond losing bonus point range for the Bulls, which is kind of brutal, but 32-23, big second half from the Ulster boys, from 12 points to 32, so 20 points scored, whereas the Bulls guys just the 3 in that second half. So, I mean, possession and territory still finish with the Bulls edging that. The clean breaks finish is 3-1, same as it was in the first half. So first half a bit more open, second half a lot tighter. Run meters 372 to 240, so the Bulls still edge that. But the Ulster guys, their defense was rock solid, man. 179 tackles made at 89%. It's pretty bloody impressive. The Bulls guys made only 76. It's still at 86, which is not bad percent, but yeah, you got to give credit to the Ulster defense for hanging on when they did and competing well at the breakdown. Penalties conceded pretty even, 9 by Ulster, 11 by Bulls, for a couple more, but the 2 cards maybe a factor. Kurtley Arendse finishes with 128 meters, so remember he had 120, was it 4 in the first half, so impact really limited in that second half with his leg seemingly, but Limp, I don't know why they didn't substitute him a bit earlier. Beat 6 defenders though. Balakoon had 45 meters for Ulster, managed to get his hands on the ball 6 times. Timoney, 20 tackles from him, he's a real workhorse. Big part of that Ulster defensive shift. 2 defenders beaten. Van Staden had 16 carries, speaking of workhorses. 3 defenders beaten from him. So, yeah, there you go, folks. 32-23. Entertaining game. Like I said, first half especially, real just game of momentum shifts, whereas Ulster in the second half just took the game away from the Bulls. But good fun watch. The Champions Cup for both these sides next week, so tough asks for both, you'd have to say. Ulster are away at Leinster, and Bulls are away at Toulouse. So kind of both sides facing highly fancied sides in that competition. So yeah, we'll see how they go. You guys let us know your thoughts on the game. It was a good start to my day. 8:35 kickoff was always a pleasant one for those of us here in NZ. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts, and talk to you guys again soon.